everybody wants to invest in real estate, but most people, I get my clients like, oh no, well my tia told me not to buy. Because I'm like, what does your tia own? Nothing. Okay, great. Ignore, just scratch that.
Yes. So when I first met Bobby, when we were 18 and 22 years old, the first thing he told me is my goal is to be a real estate investor, but you need a lot of money for that. And back then there was not that, none of that. And we didn't even know, we didn't have the knowledge or whatever. So from the very beginning, we said we're going to be in real estate, but we started BHG and we started stacking any little bit of money. And in 95, we were able to buy our first home, which if we knew what we know today, we wouldn't have done it that way. But we bought a few little homes, bought them and flipped them. And we were like, wow, this is cool. We understand back in 95. So we did a little bit about it, but we didn't still understand the business much. In 2003, we had we had stacked enough money that we were able to get into some ventures. And we also had a lot of financing experiences at this point because of BHG. And we got into a partnership with a group of condo conversion.
Okay.
We knew zero about condo conversion, but we thought, oh, it's real estate. Yay, let's do real estate. That's all we knew. Well, we got into it and, we didn't know much about it. Followed the footsteps of the people that we went into. But then the financial crisis came into play and really...
In '08.
In '08. It swiped us off our feet. We were like, whoa, what is this? Condo conversion, nobody wanted to buy in 2008. And we had over, thousands of units to sell. And we almost lost it all, but because of our mindset, we were like, no way, this is not going to happen to us. We're not losing everything we just built, and we still hadn't gotten there. We were like in the part where you're at right now. And, we were like, we had something and the business was starting to really kick off, but we were like, oh my God, we're going to lose it all. So in that point, we started learning what rental income, investing into rental income was all about. We started putting tenants into these condo conversions that we were supposed to sell. We started putting tenants in there till we could get some cash flow so that we could pay all that debt because we had leveraged ourselves 100% leverage at $81 million in assets.
Wow.
Okay, 100%. So we were like, wow. We started putting tenants in there and we started seeing that we were getting cash flow on a monthly basis. And we're like, oh, no, this is what we want to do.
Like,
this is where we want to learn how to be investors into real rental investments. So in that point, it taught us a lot of lessons. Again, a failure turned into a success because we learned what was going wrong and what we could do right from that. And so in 2008, we started selling off all the buildings, coming to the table with money because we couldn't sell it for what we bought it for. But it was okay. We were like, we need to just get rid of this. And in that process, Bobby and I started managing the properties that we owned with our partners.
As you're growing BHG.
As we're growing. Actually, Bobby went to BHG and started saying, we're going to make this company we need to explode it because we need that money to be able to support this real estate that's going to take us into foreclosure. So Eric, his brother, I, and his wife, Barbie, we went into the management side of the buildings and we started just trying to survive. And in that point, we learned a lot. And in 2011, my daughter, Priscilla, decided that she didn't want to go to college anymore and she wanted to be an entrepreneur, but didn't really have direction. So I said, well, Priscilla, come along. Me and you will start buying foreclosures and we'll rent them out. We'll buy some. And back then we were buying things for $40,000.
Oh my God, don't tell me.
A unit. It was crazy. So we bought about 16 homes, Priscilla and I. Of course, Bobby was involved, but he was very involved with BHG. And that's how we got into what's today Ortsat Capital. And we started just buying little small apartment buildings, little by little, duplexes, 4 doors, 6 doors, 10 doors, like that.
Yeah.
And when we exited in 2019 from BHG 100%, that Bobby and I,
3 years
3 years ago. Yeah, we exited. We completely switched our business to a small family office and started investing our money into multifamily. And today we have about $750 million in assets.
It is crazy. How does that make you feel? Because I have always loved real estate. Like I'm that agent, like, because I started off just as a realtor, right? And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, man, that's a lot easier than dealing with all these people and all these personalities and all these problems, right? But again, you choose your problems. Whatever you choose to be, there's always problems. So problem solution.
Yep.
So when I love real estate. Like I'm fascinated. I've always loved it. Like we grew up in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 9 people. That's a lot of people. I had to sleep in the living room with my brothers and my sisters. So I always wondered what it was like to have my own room. So as soon as I could qualify, obviously I met my husband, got into real estate, and I was like, okay, I want to buy a 4-unit. How do I do it? So Albert qualified me, told me what to do. I was literally in escrow 2 weeks. That's why when people give me all their run, I'm like, don't give me that. Because I'm the person that's going to tell you, cut the bullshit, stop it.
Get to it.
Like cut all the bullshit out. You're lying to yourself. You're making up all these excuses. I've been there. You're not going to tell me all this crap because it's just you making it all up to,
Those are the people that see the half cup, half empty instead of
half full. Exactly.
That's
And
what
I
happens.
was so proud of myself when I bought those 4 units. Little did I know I had a tenant straight from hell. But, I kept it for a while. And the first one you can manage it yourself. And then we got a management company because Albert at that point had some. And we just kept acquiring 3 doors, 2 doors, 4 doors. We just kept doing that here in LA, actually, which is something that helped us save our business because we would sell one off. He would sell one off. He's the king of leveraging. Sell one off, pay, make payroll. Sell another one off a quarter later, and that's how we kept. Most people won't do that. That's why they stay little and small forever. Mm-hmm. But how does it feel? Because you tell me that and I'm like, oh my God, like it gets me so excited.
I love it. I absolutely love investing in multifamily. It's a passion and it's a great business. It's a great business to create generational wealth. And a lot of people think, oh my God, that's too many landlord. I don't want to be a landlord, but I know that it's great because the
toilets and this and that.
And it's all so wrong. It's just people don't know how to do it the proper way. But it's a great feeling. The accomplishment that Bobby and myself have been able to, create this investment firm that we have our own family office, and it's all strictly, multifamily. It's great. It's a great accomplishment.
It feels amazing, right?
It's amazing. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I was happy with a couple properties here and there, and I can't even imagine because Albert's like, okay, this year we're going to restart investing because we literally sold everything. And for me, I'm like, this is something real. You can't spend it. Literally, as long as you don't over leverage, it's always going to be there for you, right? Because I tell people, especially my clients back in the day, like they would buy one house, but I'm like, oh, you sure you don't want to buy 4 units? You can get it with 3.5 down. You occupy 1, you rent the other 3, so you're leveraging. Because let's be honest, in the United States, most people will never save 25% down to buy a 4 unit because anything over 4 units is it's commercial. 5 units and up is commercial. Most people in their life, en la vida, es que es la verdad. So I would tell my clients, a lot of them are Hispanic, like I want to help my people, right? And I'm like, okay, have you ever considered buying 4 units or 3 units or even 2 units and then buying your house? Because then you can come in with 5% down as long as it's owner occupied, right? And then you start stacking. Yes. Most people don't stack. There's all these, studies on how a household, if they make an extra $1,000, they will find a way to spend those $1,000. Yes. It is humans. It is just what it is. It's what human nature does. And we have to be strong enough to say, okay, these are my goals. Exactly what I did with my home. I said, qualify me. I did my taxes. I had to pay all this money in taxes, but guess what? I'm not kidding you. 2 weeks later, I was in escrow for my first property because that was my main focus. Yeah,
I wish that people would understand that if you're, the American dream, I want a home. If I own a home, I've made it. Guys, if you're not...
Tell them what you told me last night.
If you're not in the level of life that you have reached the success, freedom, of financial freedom, that you are able to say, you know what, if I buy a home for whatever amount of money, it's not going to touch my monthly expenses. It's not gonna bother. I could go and invest whatever. They go and buy a home when they're still an employee making very little, and then they're home poor, because they get all their money. And your money, when you buy a home, what do? all the money goes into a garbage can, right? You're putting your monthly money. You're not receiving no income on this house.
Yeah.
Every dollar you make goes into this house, right? So, and then they say, oh, but I bought the house for $500,000, and 3, 4, 5 years later, it's worth $2 million. Well, calculate what you have paid for in those 5 years or whatever it is. Your mortgage, your taxes, your insurance, your expenses of whatever breaks down in the house, and you add, you made $0. All you're getting is your money back that you put into it. Where if you at the beginning go and buy yourself a fourplex, that it's gonna cost you the same amount of money that a house costs you, you live in one for a year or two until you could you're getting all, now you buy a fourplex, you live in one of the units, now you're receiving money every single month and you're paying 0 on your mortgage. Your payroll is going straight to you to be able to stack and rack. And you are going to be able to become your own employee in a year or two. You're going to see. And then later on, you move out of that fourplex and you go buy yourself a house or whatever you want to do. But this whole mindset that I have to live the American dream and buy myself a home first. You're home poor.
Yeah.
You are not creating no empire for yourself.
Yeah.
You're taking away from yourself buying a home. Guys, rent for the beginning part and go invest it in a property that's going to bring you in money instead of taking away money from you.